What's up, guys? All Retro's Fun here, and today I'm gonna do a Let's Talk About. And what I want to talk about today is some of the reasons we're gonna get started. Why we retro, why we play old games. Different reasons. For one, to relive our childhood. To play some of the games that we used to enjoy as a kid, and just overall, there just happen to be a lot of retro games that are better than games that are even being put out now. And one of the things I want to talk about is, we all enjoy our beat 'em ups. We used to go to friends' house, play Mortal Kombat, Streets of Rage, Final Fight. But one thing that a lot of us don't talk about a lot is the history we have with the sports games with retro. And to be honest, yeah, Double Dribble was probably one of the first basketball games I ever played, which was on the NES, and it was total crap. Techno Basketball, their sports games were always good, but one sports series that actually been around for a really long time, and that's EA Sports and the NBA Live series. NBA Live did start in 1994. That was the first game I ever played on the Sega Genesis. It kind of had a weird camera angle, but definitely want to talk about the sports games and some of my favorite NBA Live games and games in the series that when it was probably the best NBA basketball game on the market to the downfall. So to get started, like I said, the first NBA Live started in 1994. I don't have that one, but I do own a lot of NBA Live sports games. And this one is NBA Live 96 on the Super Nintendo. Same thing, 93, I mean 94, 95, this one are all kind of the same. Um, After 96, it transitioned into 3D, which was on PS1 and Nintendo 64, and also on the Sega Saturn. They did NBA Live 96, 97. I own NBA Live 98. This is when it started getting fun. This is actually a really good game. It was probably the best thing on the market for simulation basketball at the time. So this was a pretty good one. Um, then they did NBA Live 99. It's exactly the same. To me, 98, 99 were the same thing. Now, if I were to do a top 5 NBA Live video games, this would definitely be top on the list. This was one of my favorite NBA Live games right here, and I'm sure a lot of other retro gamers will agree. NBA Live 2000 was a great basketball game. This one, when you started seeing a lot of changes, more dribble animations, more in depth, I really enjoyed this one. So after that, when PS2 was releasing, this was the first PS2 NBA Live basketball game to drop on what would you say next gen consoles, and that was NBA Live 2001. Same thing. This one upped the graphics, looked a lot better, better arenas, and it was a pretty good game overall. So this was pretty fun. Um, Not a lot of changes. They did a 2K move where it was kind of the same thing, and that was NBA Live 2002. Not a lot changed. It was kind of the same game as last year. So 2001, 2002 was kind of the same, but they stepped it up. This would also be on my top 5 because now this one's definitely worth going back and getting, and a lot of people agree that this was a really fun one. This one mixed a little bit of arcade and simulation where it wasn't too serious, but 2K was finally in competition and they finally had a rival to go against, which was a good contender, which NBA Live and 2K were kind of going at it with each other. But NBA Live 2003, this one actually introduced us using the right stick. This was on GameCube, PS2, original Xbox, and they introduced controlled dribbling. So this one had really good music, really good gameplay, fast paced. A lot of people, this is a good game to have in your collection if you want to play versus or invite some friends over. Another great one. This one they kind of changed the graphics and the models of the characters. They're a lot bigger. This one was the year that introduced LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony into the league as rookies, and that's NBA Live 2004. This one actually had another button that you press to do dunks and pull dunks off. This was pretty well rounded. They introduced in the hit detection where when you go up for a layup, you could draw contact and you'd hit the button again to do a different layup. So this one was pretty much, this was good. This is when NBA Live was good. This is when NBA Live could compete with 2K in the market. Then this one blew everyone away. They changed the system. I noticed NBA Live kind of every year would try to change their character models. This one they kind of looked clayish figures to me. They were like real shiny and bright looking, and I didn't really care for the graphics on this one. They tried to give a lighting effect from the arena to make it look more real, but they introduced the dunk contest in this one. So this was the first one to introduce the dunk contest. All Star Weekend, 3-point shooting contest. So this was a really fun NBA Live game to have, and it's also on PS2, GameCube, and original Xbox. Um, I'm not gonna lie. If you look at gameplay footage of this game, This game actually had amazing graphics. They used the blur effect vision that they used in like SmackDown versus Raw and all that. This is NBA Live 06. I actually don't recommend this game. I actually bought it originally because I actually wanted to see how bad it was. This is probably one of the worst NBA Live games ever made. Literally, this game is horrible. The graphics looked real nice on it, and it had really good just graphics. This game had really good graphics and lighting, but gameplay wise, horrible. They actually put more effort into the current gen, which was play at PS2. The PS2 version of this is better than the 360 version of this, and this did only come out on Xbox 360. It did not release on PS3. They didn't do NBA Live until I think '07 or '08 on both systems, but this was a 360 exclusive. And graphics, yes. Gameplay, horrible. This game sucks. And then they got even worse, sir. Same thing. The details in the graphics, if you see the art on the back, it does look really nice. The graphics looked real good, but same thing. The gameplay was horrible, and they tried to emulate in the special abilities because in NBA Live '06 and '07, if you bought it on PS2 or GameCube, they had special abilities like you could be a shooter, a defenser, a dunker. They finally added that in the game, but it wasn't enough to save it. This was total crap, and the players are all boxy moving, and another horrible game. If you just want to add it to your collection or keep it, because it sucks so bad, it didn't really sell. So, I mean, I could picture this going up in value in the future, being hard to find because you rarely see these at GameStop. Actually, go to GameStop. I doubt you see either of these even at GameStop. Even though they sell for like $2-3, you cannot. It's real hard to find these right now. So definitely pick them up if you see them cheap. Then NBA Live took a turn. They fixed up the details. They did a better arena. This one played a lot smoother, a lot better. This was a really good game. So NBA Live '08, it was a lot better. They still have the dunk contest, All Star Weekend. This one, you can have some enjoyment with it if you want to go back and use some of your older teams. Because also that's another reason why I like to buy the older sports games is because there was a lot of teams that I like better 10, 15, 20 years ago than I do now. So, it's fun to go back and play this one and use Vince Carter and, Tracy McGrady was at his prime here and he was like a really good all-star player. This one was definitely okay and worth picking up. Now, NBA Live '09, this one, you might not believe this, graphics are amazing. They had the best looking graphics. This game had amazing graphics. I think they got it down packed. When they did this one, this was very realistic looking. I mean, I don't know how much you could tell from the background, but this game had really nice graphics. You could definitely go look up gameplay of this game and see how beautiful and nice this game looked. But it lacked in the fun factor. Graphics were amazing, but super mediocre. Everybody looked the same. Everybody had the same dribble animation. It was like they would do one thing good and then go downhill. This game had amazing graphics, but horrible gameplay. Then, this is what always bugged me forever. They came out with NBA Live 10. This was the last NBA Live game they did until NBA Live 14, which came out on Xbox One, which was a huge disappointment for everybody. And Xbox PS4 came out on also. Now, this is the issue with this game. This is actually a really good, awesome gameplay wise. This game was amazing. You could dive for the ball finally. It was a lot of little stuff that 2K did that made them better than Live. A lot of 2K games, they didn't do cool stuff like dive out for the rebound and they didn't do little tipping in the air, and it was a lot of animations that NBA Live didn't have that kept it from looking like a realistic simulation basketball game. This one did it. You go for a rebound, the ball kind of tips around. You could dive for the loose ball, but they did something with the player models, and it looked more cartoony than 3D. And honestly, if they kept these graphics with this gameplay, NBA Live would have been an amazing game. And honestly, they didn't emulate that until NBA Live 15, which I don't want to jump ahead, but if you ever could pick these two up or look at gameplay footage of this and this, and you'll see what I'm talking about, where this one plays really good. When you're watching it, they simulate real good. They actually have their dribble animations. Now everybody has their own signature moves. Everybody moves more realistic, but the graphics killed it. This had amazing graphics, but no good gameplay. So I don't own NBA Live 14, so I can't show you that one, but we'll jump to this one. This was actually pretty good. I mean, it wasn't amazing. It's not better than 2K, but this was doable. I was actually able to do NBA Live 15. I actually had fun with this one. Actually, I had this one for a while before I even got NBA 2K15. I actually bought this first. Just because, you know, the graphics look better, the gameplay, they added signature moves. This one was a lot better, but it ain't enough to compete with 2K, unfortunately, as much as I love the NBA Live series. This is garbage. This was crap. This was a downgrade from this one. And it reminds me of this. They had nice graphics. They had it. They should have left this as is, emulated this gameplay, and it would have been the perfect game. So one thing I hated was this one had signature dribbles. You could hold down the turbo button or the right trigger or the RL button, and they'll do their signature moves. They took it out of this. So now you use the joystick to do your dribbles, but then it caused the issue where, to me, everybody had the same dribble animation. Everybody did the same moves. This one, Damian Lillard moved like Damian Lillard. Steph Curry had Steph Curry moves. Now everybody did the same dribbles again. Why they did that, I don't know. So they need to take this gameplay, update these graphics, and hopefully NBA Live 17, if it releases, is a lot better because they're claiming that they're not going to release NBA Live 17 till close to the All-Star weekend. So you're talking January or February for NBA Live 17 to drop. If it does, I don't know. But like I said, I know this is a little different from my videos, but I know I do retro, but NBA Live is part of the retro community because it's a game that all of us grew up on, and I'm pretty sure all of us played it on our 64, our PS1s, our PS2s, Dreamcast. Didn't have live at all. You know, they broke away from Sega, but we're not going to get into all that. But, you know, it was something we all grew up with and played a lot. So that's all what I wanted to talk about was NBA Live. Definitely let me know if there's any other type of titles or games you guys would like to talk about. Thanks for watching. Peace.